All right, boys and girls, we are talking a little bit of player release news. We're talking about Rodger Saffold and Landon Collins. Landon Collins released from the Washington football team, or Washington Commanders now. Rodger Saffold released from the Titans. We got a new guard hitting the market, and we got a new safety hitting the market. So I want to talk about it since we have needs at both those positions. So let's jump into it first. Let's talk about Rodger Saffold. He's 33 years old. He was the 35th ranked guard this past year. He graded out as a 67.6 on Pro Football Focus. Now, when I'm looking at this, I'm thinking I probably don't want to spend a crazy ton of money on Rodger Saffold. He's a little bit older, and you're not really going to get a ton of years out of him. Maybe you get 2 more years. I think he's probably a candidate to go to a championship caliber team, try to win something towards the end of his career. Maybe he winds up re-signing back with the Titans. Who knows? I mean, the Titans have a pretty good shot at doing well, but I don't know if this is really I mean, it's not bad for the Jets, right? Like, realistically, there's a ton of guards hitting the market, and the more guards that hit the market mean there's a better possibility of the Jets signing one before we wind up going into the draft. So this is a player that, while I don't want us to target, I do think is good for the Jets at large. And guys, I'm going to put a poll in the comment section. I'm going to put down the Landon Collins and Saffold poll. So if you guys come in, just drop a comment. We'll discuss this as we go. The next player we're going to talk about is Landon Collins, 28 years old. He ranked as the 81st safety this past year. Pro Football Focus gave him a 54.7. Now, I want to talk about a few things because realistically, the way that he graded out this past year, you don't ideally want him as a safety. But there's some interesting things. Like, you look at his contract evaluation from over the cap, and it's pretty low. It's all under $10 million. So if you can wind up signing him for like a $7 million deal or somewhere in that wheelhouse, then maybe it's not the worst thing to consider. The other thing I want to talk about is what if we use him as a linebacker? Because while his Pro Football Focus grade didn't look great overall, his run defense grade and his pass rush grade were both very good, like above average, very good. So does he have the skill set to be able to come down into the box, maybe fill that will linebacker slot for the Jets? May not be a bad decision. Maybe he wants to come back to New York after leaving the Giants. It's originally where he was drafted, so something to consider. So, my thought process, going back to the very beginning here, should we go after either one of these players? I would say no to Saffold, and I would say yes to Collins, but in a different capacity. I don't want to sign Collins as a safety. I want to sign him as a will linebacker. Now, I don't know if that's something he's willing to do or if he wants to do it or if he's just going to go for the biggest paycheck possible. 28 years old. Either way, like I said, more safeties hitting the market, more guards hitting the market. This is definitely not a bad thing by any stretch of the imagination. Let's see. Jesse drops in. Whoop, that is really small. Why is that so tiny? Jesse drops in and says they should definitely target Saffold. KD says, Ryan, please, I have to do my algebra. Sorry, dude. My bad. Matt Morris says, we've got to plug holes outside of the draft. This is what we should do. We should plug in these holes so we don't have to do this in the draft. I don't want to have to overextend and reach for a free or for a guard in the first round or something along those lines. So I think you guys are right. It's going to be interesting to see how this winds up shaking out. I'm trying this new format out. You guys can let me know if you like it or not, but this is basically me trying to pump out some videos a little bit quicker. So guys, let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. And as always, go Jets.